Tens of thousands rally against gun violence in Washington. Across U.S. Washington, tens of thousands of demonstrators descended on Washington and at loads of rallies across the U.S. on Saturday to call for that lawmakers pass law aimed toward curtailing gun violence following remaining months' bloodbath at a Texas Simple college. In the state's capital, organizers with March for Our Lives (MFOL) predicted that 40,000 people assembled on the National Mall close to the Washington Monument beneath occasional light rain. The gun safety institution changed into based with the aid of student survivors of the 2018 massacre at a Parkland, Florida, high college. Courtney Haggerty, a 41-year-old research librarian from Lawrenceville, New Jersey, traveled to Washington along with her 10-year-old daughter, Kate, and 7-year-old son, Graham. Haggerty stated the December 2012 school capturing at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, while a gunman killed 26 human beings, normally 6 and 7-year-olds, got here someday after her daughter's first birthday. It left me raw, she said. I cannot agree with she is going to be 11, and we're nonetheless doing this. Kay Klein, a 65-year-old instructor from Fairfax, Virginia, who retired in advance this month, said Americans should vote out politicians who refuse to take action in November's midterm elections, whilst control of Congress could be at stake. If we absolutely care about children and about households, we need to vote, she said. Absolutely absurd. A gunman in Uvalde, Texas, killed 19 youngsters and teachers on May 24, 10 days after any other gunman murdered 10 black humans in a Buffalo, New York, grocery shop in a racist assault. The shootings have delivered new urgency to the United States' ongoing debate over gun violence, even though the prospects for federal rules continue to be unsure given staunch Republican competition to any limits on firearms. In current weeks, a bipartisan organization of Senate negotiators have vowed to hammer out a deal, even though they have yet to attain a settlement. Their effort is centered on especially modest adjustments, such as incentivizing states to skip red flag legal guidelines that allow authorities to maintain weapons from people deemed dangerous. U.S. President Joe Biden, a Democrat who in advance this month entreated Congress to prohibit assault weapons, extend historical past assessments and put into effect other measures, said he supported Saturday's protests. We are being murdered, stated X Gonzalez, a Parkland survivor and co-founder of MFOL, in an emotional speech alongside survivors of different mass shootings. You, Congress, have completed not anything to save you it. Among different guidelines, MFOL has referred to as for an attack weapons ban, widespread history tests for those seeking to purchase guns and a national licensing gadget, which might sign in gun owners. Biden told reporters in Los Angeles that he had spoken several times with Senator Chris Murphy, whose main the Senate talks, and that negotiators remained mildly optimistic. The Democratic-controlled U.S. House of Representatives on Wednesday exceeded a sweeping set of gun protection measures, however the rules has no risk of advancing in the Senate, in which Republicans view gun limits as infringing upon the U.S. Constitution's Second Amendment proper to endure arms. Speakers at the Washington rally covered David Hogg, a Parkland survivor and co-founder of MFOL, Becky Pringle and Randy Weingarten, NYSE, WRI, the presidents of the two biggest U.S. teachers' unions, and Muriel Bowser, the mayor of Washington, D.C. Two excessive college students from the Washington suburb of Silver Spring, Maryland, Zena Phillip, 16, and Blaine Sierick, 15, stated they'd in no way joined a protest before, however felt influenced after the capturing in Texas. Just understanding that there's a possibility that may show up in my own college terrifies me, Phillip stated. A lot of children have become numb to this to the factor they experience hopeless. Sierick said she sponsored extra gun regulations and that the problem prolonged past mass shootings to the daily toll of gun violence. People are capable of get military-grade guns in America, she stated. It's surely absurd.